So how many of you guys could survive your day-to-day lives without technology? I want all of you guys to look around this room. What do you see? Technology everywhere. You have it in your pockets, sitting right in front of you, all your MacBooks, right here at the front of the class. Technology is everywhere. And in the past 20 years, technology has advanced so much that it's almost unrecognizable from what it was 20 years ago. So all of these things in our everyday lives, they affect how we live, affect what we do every day, how we do it, and how easy our lives may be. Technology has affected our lives so much to the point where it's almost like we need it every day to continue on doing just our habits. So first off, I'd like to talk about what's in our pockets. Cell phones. If I can get mine out. Look like this. Everyone should have one, I assume. But it's kind of a surprise that they fit in our pockets when they used to be bricks about this big. Where was I? So 20 years ago, cell phones weren't much bigger. They were, well, they ranged in size from here to whatever. But all of these have changed over time. All of your cell phones are connected to the internet right now, probably. And in 1996, Nokia released the first phone that was able to connect to the internet. And that was, well, 2 years before I was born, so 20 years ago. It's a long time to say that these have been connected to the internet, and we've been evolving them to go from 2G to 3G to now 4G. Also, with the size of them, phones used to be this big, like I said. Now, they're like this. Well, the iPhone 6s and 7 Pluses are like that again, getting up there. But the size and shape and how they look have definitely changed a lot. Starting with the big bricks, going down to smaller ones with long antennas, smaller phones with no antennas, because antennas became non-existent after a while. To these things, these flimsy pieces of crap. Yeah, so it's just, they've changed a lot from even 2003, the first BlackBerry was released in North America, and that changed the whole market as well, made it possible to do a bunch more things with the technology that they had. In 2007, the first iPhone was released, so that's even still 10 years ago, the first iPhone was released. And since then, they've gone faster, better storage, better cameras, that kind of stuff. So, how does that affect us, though? It is what we use every day. You always see somebody on it in the hallway, always see somebody on it walking down the street. It's because we rely on it for communication purposes. We rely on it for work, for taking notes, that kind of stuff. Your friends, your family, work, school, everything is on this little device. So we've become really affected by where these have came in the past 20 years. Okay, now let's take a look in front of us. We have computers. These MacBooks are great little devices. They're little, they're lightweight, and they're extremely fast. I did some research, and I figured out the first MacBooks were actually introduced in 2006. And these MacBooks had 512 megabytes of RAM and 60 gigabytes of storage. So they were pretty slow little devices, but at the time were extremely fast because we haven't discovered the technology needed. Nowadays, these MacBooks have 8 gigabytes of RAM, so a tremendous amount more, and a 120 gigabyte hard drive. So they've gotten better, but in the same time of them adding more things and getting faster, they've gotten smaller and lighter. Same with the iMacs that are up in the iMac lab. The first one was released in 1998, and it had 38 megabytes of RAM and a 4 gigabyte hard drive. The ones selling now have 8 gigabytes of RAM and a terabyte of storage. So they've come a long way from these big honkin' iMacs to a small flat screen. I don't know. And then over the past 20 years of them getting faster and smaller, we started to use them more and more and get more projects going on them because they are capable to run the programs that we need. And actually, one of the programs that we've used a lot is Photoshop. Photoshop was released in 1990, by two brothers. I forget where they're from. But they released it, and it was all black and white. It was for editing black and white photos. But over the years, it has progressed into what we know Photoshop as now. This program that can help us do what we need to do with our futures, if that's what you want to do. Okay, so let's go from school and go home. In our houses, we walk in, there's technology everywhere. There's your fridge, there's your microwave, you go into your living room, there's your TV, game consoles, whatever. I game a lot, so I like to use what I know. So, TVs, first of all, let's take a look at those. 20 years ago, you guys remember what TVs looked like? Huge honking tube TVs. Quality was bad. They were huge. They were heavy. I remember lifting one up a flight of stairs. Definitely not my finest hour. Literal hour. Flight of stairs. So, over the past 20 years, TVs have gotten smaller. They've gotten flat screen. They went LCD. They went plasma. You know, all these different versions of TVs. But they were getting smaller, and the pictures are better now. Now we have 4K TVs. TVs that are like 4 times the definition of even what we had 5, 10 years ago. Yeah, curved TVs as well. Who decided that it might be a good idea to curve a TV? It's come a long way in the past 20 years, and I think we take that for granted, but it's something we do use every single day. Well, I do play video games, which brings me to my next topic, is video games, and how much they've evolved in the past 20 years. In 1995, the first PlayStation came out, just the PlayStation. It only had a handful of games. It was, in my opinion, my favorite game console. I wish I still had one. It was awesome. But since that release in 1995, they came out with 3 other versions in 2000, 2006, and, well, 2013. And over these years, they've progressively got better. Quality of the games have gotten better. They've gotten bigger, and it's started to run faster. So the advancement in technology has really, I don't know how to word this, opened a broader horizon, I guess, for what we are capable of and what we can do with technology. And the technology in the past 20 years has actually increased so much that we've become dependent on it, whether it be your cell phone, your TV, a microwave, because who could live without pizza box? Not me. But honestly, past 20 years, these have helped us live day to day, more and more so lately, because we need them everywhere we go. For work, for school, we need them for school. Even just communicating to your friends anymore, it's over the phone. It's not, well, it used to be calling, but now you're just texting each other, emailing each other, whatever you do, tweeting at each other. And it's affected what we do on a day-to-day basis. I think that's it.